Hello, Booktube. Um, this is the small Booktuber Tag. Um, I was mentioned, I believe, Steve Partridge and Paperback Junkie. I'm not sure if there were other ones. It's been a crazy, crazy week. Anybody who did mention me in their tags, I appreciate it. We've had a sick household, and kids home from school. Um, my wife and I have taken turns missing work, and neither one of us feel all that great either. Some sort of wintertime crud going around our state for sure, and I think I've heard that it's going all over the country. So I will consider this a nice break from my tour of duty, getting cough drops and taking temperatures and all the various things that go with this time of year. Had a big snowstorm last night, so snow blower and snow shovel going. And then I've got to take the kids to the doctors today. To the doctor today. Okay. So it's a small booktuber tag. Now that we've had enough of my problems. So the first question is introduce yourself. Well, my name is Mark. I live in Vermont with my family, wife Deb and 3 children. Children are all age 11 or younger. 2 cats, Keisha and Pixel. We live in a very well. We live in Vermont, so obviously we live in a rural area. But we live in an old farmhouse near a stream, um, on a dirt road with a covered bridge. You can get the picture there, pretty much. Um, I was born, and my family comes from Vermont, and my wife was born in Massachusetts, and her family's been in Massachusetts for a very long time. So, but we met in Florida. Um, I'm a librarian now, but I've had many jobs over my lifetime. Um, I became a librarian only within the last few years. Went back to grad school, decided I want to be a librarian. So I'm a director of a small country library, and I love it very much. And if you hear cat coughing in the background, you can guess what that's all about. So how long have you been on Booktube? I joined at the end of June of 2017. Um, I had I looked at some things on YouTube occasionally, not a lot, and I don't even remember exactly how I ran into Steve Donahue's channel. And I think he was doing a bookshelf tour, bookcase tour, and I really started getting into him. And then when he would do his mail hauls, of course, being a librarian, I'm always on the lookout for new books. So personally, I like older books for the most part, and then professionally, newer books are important to me. So his channel had a great balance there. So I watched those for a while, and then slowly discovered a few others: Ernest Lee Aston, Paperback Junkie, and then moved on from there. Number 3, what types of videos do you make? Well, for the first, 7 or 8 months I've been on Booktube, I've done bookcase tours broken down by shelves. Um, I'm a book collector as well as a book reader, and so those have been sort of the bread and butter of the channel, but that has to change now because I just finished the 17th bookcase and the 5th shelf, so the bookcase tours are a thing of the past. I've also done quite a few tags. I've done some book hauls. I don't live where there's thrift stores or a lot of bookstores around. Um, So those are, when I acquire books, it's fairly sporadic. It might be Christmas time. Recently I did a Brattle book haul visiting Steve Donahue down in Boston, but not something that I can do easily. I have done some of the read-alongs. Did the Agathon that the Paperback Junkie had a while back. Loved that. Participated somewhat with the Shakespeare readings that were started by Curtis Books and Film and Lou Cautious, and enjoyed those. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Number 4. Excuse me. What do you love about Booktube? Well, I mean, I like watching the books on the shelves. I like watching the creators put their own spin on their vision of the book world. So what their interests are. You don't have to be very flamboyant to entertain me. I'm interested in what you have to say, and I've found in the last month some more booktubers due to this whole small booktuber question going on right now, and ones that I really enjoy, and they can be pretty bare bones, but when it comes to books, they're interesting folks. And, well, when it comes to a lot of things, they're interesting folks. So I like making connections with people. Number 5, what types of books do you read? I read a lot of nonfiction. I read philosophy, theology. I read archaeology, history. I read maritime history, nautical fiction. I read westerns, science fiction, fantasy, thrillers. Almost any genre you can think of. Not a big fan of the term literary fiction because I believe it's usually the same old story and implies a judgment I don't make. A lot of what I read, some folks would call literary fiction, but leave that argument for another time. What's your favorite video that you've made? That was question 6. Well, my favorite one is one of my least watched, and that's not uncommon. You hear other folks say the same. I was reading David McCullough's book about Americans who were in Paris, and we went over, my wife and I and the kids went over to St. Gaudens Park, which is run by the National Park Service over in New Hampshire, and we were able to do video of a lot of what David McCullough had discussed in that work. So that was great fun. So number 7, tag at least 4 small booktube channels, or every small channel you can think of. Normally I'll do this right off the cuff, and this time I said, well, I ought to do some research, make sure who's small booktube channel. And I guess everybody's pretty much agreed it's anybody with under 1,000. Well, the list was of just the channels that I watch regularly was pretty big. And I wrote down everybody and then wrote down how many they had, how many subscribers they had as of this morning. And a good portion of them have more subscribers than I do. So it seems odd for me to call it a small booktube channel. And I was going to read everybody's name and what their subscription count was. That way a year from now they go back and say, well, it's been a long time since I was there. So, but there's just too many. So I'm going to go through as quick as I can. There's no way I'm going to make links to everybody. So I have Orography, Beck's Books, Sir Book Sage, Johnny Keene, Sean the Book Maniac, Literary Gladiators, A Journey Through Books, T-Hags, C.R. Flames Fan, Elena Macrodina, Peg the Book Prize Addict, Steve Partridge, Graham Quigley, Emilio Saez, On the Stoop, Laura Pora, B&B Books, DJ Legion's Bookshelf, Unicorn Hunter Books, Read, Create, Homeschool, Todd the Librarian, World of Sleuths, Biblio Atlas, Remembered Reads, A Scientist Reads, Ernestly Eston, J.D. Archer, Paperback Junkie, Toast Dragon Fantasy, Run Right Reads, Lucasius Books, My Reading Life, The Medieval Reader, Beacon Hill Books, Curtis Books and Films, So I Read, Catalyst Reads, and Paperbird. So that's a list of ones I watch regularly, and then there's many more folks who I watch. Maybe not quite so regularly, but I still watch and enjoy. And then I have several fishing channels that I do watch, and they've been kind enough to occasionally comment on my Booktube channel, which I find to be wonderful. So that's the small Booktuber tag. I thank you very much, and have a good day, Booktube.